and they pay no respect towards the Constitution, and they don't want school to have any dealings with the Constitution. They don't want to have any teachings of the Constitution, and they don't want you to be able to use any part of the Constitution in any way. It makes their job easier when the students are just submissive to them and will never question what they're doing.
Well, I know you made a video, and it's been on your website, nwoalert.com. You made a video about a chapter in your history book about the New World Order, which the media and probably the school claims doesn't exist. I went online and I bought that very same book. We've got it here. It's going to be on our video that we're making of today's broadcast. But could you tell us a little bit about what you found in your history book, how the school responded to it, and maybe what response you've got from your placing it on YouTube?
Well, in the history book, I noticed that it was chapter 33, America and the New World Order, and I didn't expect them to paint out world government, population reduction, false flag, anything like that. They did exactly what I expected. They sugarcoated the world order to be something that it's not. But what they did do is talk about NAFTA, but they didn't bash NAFTA for what a horrible act it is. They promoted NAFTA, which is a big part of the New World Order right now. They have talked about NAFTA for highway. It's been reported on by Rob, and this is mainstream media. They talked about terrorism being, I quote loosely, I think it says in the book, terrorism being a growing concern in American cities. And, you know, it's kind of a fear tactic, because I don't seem to see terrorism as a growing concern in American cities, domestic terrorism. They have a section on the war on drugs, and these FEMA camps are supposed to be for the war on drugs, when we all know they're probably to be prison camps for dissenters. So what they do is they put various parts of the New World Order in this book, and they make them out to be things that they're not.
Well, I want to
the video about this on YouTube has gathered over 60,000 hits. The school has gotten tons of phone calls about the history book, asking them why they are indoctrinating us, telling us what the New World Order isn't. When that was like CNN and Lou Dobbs are already reporting that this is a plan instituted by George Herbert Walker Bush to take away our liberties. And the school just basically says it's just a post-Civil War order here. That's all the New World Order means. And all these conspiracy theories, you're just basically a conspiracy nut.
Yeah, it's right there in front of you in your history book, but it doesn't exist. Complete doublespeak at the re-educational facility we call the high schools and the schools of America. Now, isn't it true that they had threatened to have you detained by the police for talking about your constitutional rights at school, which now is a constitutional free zone?
Yes, there had been an assault that occurred, and there was, amidst the confusion, I was talking to one of the assaulted students, I was told to leave, and I did, because there was a big flurry of confusion, so I left the room after saying, you know, school shouldn't be a dictatorship. I kept asking about my rights, you know, do I have my rights? Do you want to allow me my rights? And that got under their skin. They called the police in. After they had already told me at the beginning of the year, you know, we have a red flag for you, we're going to be watching out for you, don't do anything. Basically saying, you know, don't be a patriot, don't use your right. So the police came in, wouldn't let me leave the school, detained me in the school. They tried to scare me for about a half hour, 45 minutes, hour. Kept saying, you know, you're not going anywhere in life with this. You know, when a teacher tells you to do something, you do it. You know, bow down to your leaders. Do not question them. They are the superior. You are the student. Be indoctrinated. Don't question it.
Your school has become a place of indoctrination and how to be a good slave to the establishment and prepare you to be the globalist that they intend for you to be.
Yeah, they don't intend for us to be free thinkers. They can go out there. They don't intend for us to go out and get a real education out of life. I think that it's not really at the school level. They get the stuff that they're supposed to teach us, but the schools don't even review this stuff. It's total propaganda, and the schools regurgitate it, and they want to pump out identical working drones as they do society. Everybody same. Low IQ, everything's going to happen right under their nose. Before they know it, Obama's going to have set up smaller scale of a dictatorship. Your rights are going to slowly dissolve, and people aren't going to know until they have zero constitutional rights. The Fourth Amendment's going to be taken away with FISA. He's looking to take the Second Amendment away, and free speech is almost out the door.
Hello, Rob. Good morning. This is Brian.
Morning.
First, I want to take this opportunity, sir, to commend you on being a patriot, standing up for our First Amendment rights, and being one of the very few young people here in the United States to do so. And we had the opportunity here last summer to meet Luke Rudowski. We had attended or covered the Bilderberg meeting in Chantilly, Virginia. We were inspired by everything he does. Of course, originally he had started when he was 19 years old. We found that extraordinarily inspiring as being a young person standing against these New World Order pawns. I'd like to get your perspective of the youth of America. Obviously, it's extraordinarily inspirational for what you're doing, what Luke's doing. Do you see this movement growing amongst the youth of America?
Yes, I do, because when you introduce them to the New World Order and 9/11 truth, it's really nature to think that you're crazy. But the thing is, see, rebellion is something that the students get into. When their rights are taken away, the students can see a common ground there. That makes them relate more with the New World Order. They're saying, you know what, school is fascist. The school doesn't want us to have rights. I get what you're saying, Mr. Wanek. The government does not want us to have rights either. And there's a youth awakening. Today, I'm going out with about 3 or 4 youth to do a street action. We're handing out the rest of the Truth Rise DVDs I received from Alex Stone. You know, we're going to go all around town, go to courthouse, hand these DVDs out, and the students are starting to understand. And with YouTube, it's a great outlet. I get 20 messages a day from youth wondering how they can get involved. I get emails, and I just encourage them to make videos on YouTube. If you make a video on YouTube, I'll feature it on my channel. Everyone will see it, and the youth are getting involved. It's a global awakening.
Well, you're doing a great job with it. Now, we understand, too, that you wore a 9/11 T-shirt for your school photograph, and the school blacked that out in the yearbook. Could you tell us just a little bit about that?
Yeah, I wore a simple iron-on 9/11 Truth Now shirt, which I was personally told I could wear to school. When the pictures were taken, he said nothing about it. It's my principal, Daniel P. Said nothing about the T-shirt. But when I received the photos, I was wearing a black shirt. On my personal property, I had paid. So I personally asked him, and I said, "No, sir, that is probably illegal." He said, "No, it's not." I went one of the most successful ways I could do. I went on YouTube, told my story to the world, almost 40,000 people now, and they contacted the school with their opinions. He replied to them in emails by saying, "I am not smart, I am not intelligent, I am not brave, and they don't know what kind of person I am," because he is the principal, he knows what kind of person I am, and he went on slanderous tactics. But all in all, he crumbled in the pressure, allowed uncensored the photos, allowed the original photos to appear in the yearbook that will come out later this year, and it was just a big victory. This Orwellian-style censorship of free speech, 1984, in schools, just come a little bit late.
Amen.
What is your perspective, Rob, here of the Obama administration appointing all CFR members? I covered some of this before you came on. All CFR members. We have Tom Vilsack, mouthpiece of Monsanto, just total tyranny, Trilateral Commission. What is your perspective of all this?
Yeah, you see, on Inauguration Day, we were allowed to watch the inauguration class. I had a shirt with Marx and Stalin and Obama on it that had changed with a question mark, trying to state my opinions. But we had students saying Obama, screaming Obama. They're so excited they really don't know what's going on because they hear the main thesis idea.